Hi,
Hello.
were you ready? Or were you drinking?
I was drinking.
I'm Julian,
I'm Tom.
and we are Believe, a Ted Lasso podcast. And this is the fourth time we're doing this introduction because of audio issues. Every other intro was gold, so I apologize if this one comes off a little bit forced and if we're angry at each other. We are here for the season 2 recap. I know what you're thinking. There's not 13 episodes in this season, but we wanted to do what we did after season 1 and just
Mhm.
go through some categories and then hit some trivia at the end.
Yep. Trivia's always a fun time.
And the goal of trivia is that we will make a bet, and
Okay.
that bet will be $1,000 bet where we both chip in $500 and the winner is gracious enough to split the winnings.
Okay. So we're not really betting.
We're just going to make sure that the $500 that you put in and the $500 that I put in go to different people.
I'm gonna test your $500 beforehand.
That's probably smart. I'm not very good with money. At the top, we do want to say thank you to some people that, as we've done this season, have reached out to us
Mm-hmm.
and have enjoyed us talking. And we do appreciate when people write us or tweet at us and do those types of things.
Yeah.
So, at the top, old 50 Cal Barrett, thanks, man. It's good hearing from you. John, good hearing from you. Carrie, good hearing from you. And those others that I didn't write down, thank you. Let us not forget Melinda G. But now we're going to get into season 2 recap. And this is
Mm-hmm.
appropriate because it's the last day of this year. We won't tell you what year.
Why is it appropriate?
Because it's like we're summing up this year.
Oh, okay.
So this is like we'll get into our New Year's resolutions and all that type of
At
stuff
the
as
end.
well.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be part of trivia. Hopefully your answers are right. All right, so the first thing we're going to do on season 2,
Mm-hmm.
obviously we did not like season 2 as much as we liked season 1, but there was still plenty to like and plenty to enjoy. I think what we did right on this is we tried not to listen to the noise
Mm-hmm.
of the media trying to tell us that this season wasn't any good.
The Trent Crims of the world.
Right, the people that are warring on Christmas
Mm-hmm.
telling us that season 2 was bad because there was still a lot of it I enjoyed. So
Yeah.
let's talk favorite episode, Tom. Talk me through your favorite episode of season 2.
I went back and forth. I had a couple that I very much enjoyed, but I think my favorite was probably episode 3.
Okay, which one was
Do
3?
do the rightest thing. So a little summary of episode 3. That was where he comes back to the team and he's attempting to kind of win the locker room.
Okay.
You've got Rebecca kind of attempting to win back Nora. So we met Nora, her goddaughter, who I think that character was fantastic. That
Sure.
actress did a great job.
Yep.
You've got Sam's attempt to win back his father's love after his father disowns him because of the Dubai Air shenanigans.
Terrible.
We meet Ted's alter ego in Ted Lasso.
Oh, the Led Tasso episode. Okay.
It was
All right.
fun. That Ted Lasso thing was one of the things I almost wish we didn't see in the trailer for the episode or for the season.
Right.
In the last season 1 recap, we watched the trailer and we saw this. It would have been kind of a fun out of left field moment.
Well, it was a big push, yeah, in the preview for that to come out. But I also do think that character is more in line with like the original NBC commercials, right?
Exactly, 100%. Yeah. So I think that was Ted Lasso was more or less the original version that where he was all angry and yelling and all that
Right.
kind of stuff, not as fun loving as we know him from the show. We had a little bit of that player activism, which I thought was cool, even though it went literally nowhere. And
What are you talking about? They're no longer drilling in Nigeria, man. They did it.
Touche. Sam, he solved the crisis in Nigeria.
Solved it.
But they did not really touch it in the show. It's like the show wanted to touch on player activism, but didn't want to like go too far down that rabbit hole. But
is this the one where they take the black tape over the name? That's
yes.
this episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the very end, Sam takes the black tape over it. Some of my favorite quotes from the episode: "Doing the right thing is never the wrong thing" from Ted, which I thought was good.
Okay.
We've got Beard saying "very physical." Anything else?
Wait.
Borderline violent.
Can we go back to that first quote? Can you do the first quote again?
Do the right thing, or doing the right thing is never the wrong thing.
Okay. What defines right and wrong, Tom?
Oh boy.
Never mind. All right. Give me your next
let's
quote.
Go ahead. Let's give out here. We've had a philosophical debate on what is right and wrong, and whether it's universally right or wrong,
or whether or not society and how we were raised dictates what's right.
We're not going to go into this conversation, but
we solved it.
Yeah. It took us about 3 hours.
If you'd like to know the answer, write us.
Yeah.
Actually, send some money in. That's how most of these people do it.
Venmo us. We'll let you know.
Join our OnlyFans.
Let's see. And then Phoebe's got a great quote where Uncle Roy, can I have ice cream for dinner? No, that's dumb. You're right. Thank you for helping me set boundaries. A little walk and talk with
that's
Phoebe
right.
and
After
Nora.
the doll store or whatever.
Yep. So again, it's just a fun-loving episode. I think it was early on in the season before we got a little bit of kind of too much Nate kind of going and doing his villainry thing.
Sure.
And before the show, I got too far into, not too far, but went really heavy into the drama behind Ted's panic attacks and everything else. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, that's a good episode, and that's the one where Jamie comes back. So
yeah, love Jamie.
Love Jamie in this season. First season, villain. Second season, maybe he wasn't a villain, but second season, kind of a background, but a lot of fun. I struggled with this. I went through the episodes, and there were plenty of episodes where I was like happy with, I don't know, 2/3 of it, but then there was like a weird part. I was like, oh yeah, this happened in this episode.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. For a long time, I debated going with the beard out on the town episode, running around.
That's your favorite?
Yeah. I mean, I know we love that one together. No, I did not even consider that one. Although I didn't hate that one as much as most people did. My favorite episode was 4, was the Christmas one.
Okay.
And maybe it's just because of, I'm not going to tell you what time of year it is, but...
You realize you started this show by saying it's New Year's Day, or New Year's Eve.
They might be using a different calendar.
Touche.
I don't know. I don't know what calendars people use these days. Or episode 4, just a nice episode. It starts off with the Secret Santa where the whole team is there and Isaac's on the throne and he's like, may your Secret Santa reveal itself. That was great.
Bottles of booze.
Bottles of booze. I love when people get bottles of booze. I got a bottle of booze for Christmas. My brother who gave it to me asked me to open it up so he could try it. And that's how you want to give a gift. You want to give it to someone and then ask them if you can use it. The Secret Santa was great. Jamie not having a present for a Secret Santa and him coming in and the coaches and everyone like helping him out. And Rebecca's just... Oh, Jamie, when he said I didn't read the email because it said Secret Santa.
Didn't want to ruin the surprise.
Yeah, she's, you dumb, beautiful man. Then we get to see Higgins as like a leader. Like he hosts the team, he gives a speech, he's like bringing people together. Once again, love Higgins. Anytime he gets to shine, we get to see some of his family. His kid gets that sweet surfboard that he's going to ride those waves in London. No one has ever written us about that to confirm if they're surfing in London. So I'm going to assume that was purely so they could have a long table down the hall. Rebecca sees Ted is in need. He's like homesick from Henry and he's got no one to spend the time with. She like takes him out to distribute gifts. Once again, the point I got out of that is like, hey, if you're feeling sorry for yourself, like you feel lonely, sometimes like volunteering and going and doing stuff for people that are, I don't know, the same fortunate, less fortunate, I don't know what the term is, but can really up your spirits a bit.
Yeah.
And then we have the Phoebe Odyssey, which was just so great. I rewatched the scene where Keely and Roy smell her breath, and I was laughing so hard when Roy gets mad at Keely for like not being able to act like her breath doesn't smell. And he's like, I think you might be dying. When Roy delivers that line, I think you might be dying. But this also brings us the quote of, he's asking Phoebe why she's sad, and he's like, what? Did one of the Paw Patrol dogs die? I can't do it in his accent.
My kid's really big into Paw Patrol right now. That would absolutely devastate him.
Yeah, it would. Roy wants to kill Bernard because Bernard's the kid that gave her the
Where does he live?
Where does Bernard... You're not going to beat up a kid. Why not? So good. Anyways, then they go about going house to house and Ted delivers the presents. Higgins does dinner. That was my favorite episode. I know it was a throwaway episode, but it felt like to me an old, like, not old, there's only been one season of the show, but it felt to me like a genuine Lasso episode. It was heartfelt, it dealt with some emotional stuff. We got to see all the characters we love interact with one another, which I think was one of my like pet peeves about this season is certain characters you like them together, and other stuff like I don't need an expanded Lasso universe, you know? I don't need like more characters and more storylines.
Yeah.
I just want the core group to be doing stuff together.
Yeah, and I think that was why this one was probably really good because it was a bottle episode. It didn't have to drive the story forward. It just focused on like we want to do a Christmas episode, and they did it very much in Ted Lasso form with what the show does with balancing the comedy and drama. So I 100%, I love this episode too. I actually watched this one I think on Christmas Eve again. Just I feel like this almost might be a new like Christmas tradition of watching the Lasso episode.
Got it. Is there something else you typically watch on Christmas Eve?
I used to watch Christmas Vacation, but nowadays I don't really have anything specific. Do you?
Did you introduce your kid to any new Christmas things
We
this year?
watched Arthur Christmas, which was weird. We watched.
I don't know Arthur Christmas.
It was supposed to be like one of the better Christmas movies. I thought it was just weird. A little bit of Polar Express, but I
Okay.
don't think he was very big into that. Polar Express was weird because it has like that weird animation where it's like trying to be really realistic,
Sure.
but it's kind of dated now and it looks really
Looks
goofy.
creepy, yeah.
And we watched one other one. I'm not sure, but
We do Christmas Eve. We do Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
This is something I have gained from my wife's family. It's great every year. I look forward to it now. The movie has gotten funnier over time, and I'm sure there's nothing about it that's cancelable. And then we showed our kids for the first time Home Alone, and they laughed at the abuse the robbers go through. It makes me a little bit worried about what my kids find funny, because it was the more violent stuff that they laughed the hardest
They love the
about.
slapstick.
Yeah, they lived, right? Even though they probably wouldn't in
Should
real
not have.
life.
Yeah.
With the paint cans hitting them in the face. Anyways, yeah, but I do like that idea of, and I actually think I thought of watching this for Christmas, but that's a good idea. So you watched this and you watched the clay animation Lasso?
Well, it was funny too. So when I watched this, it reminded me of the claymation thing that they came out with because the opening credits of the Christmas episode has the claymation. It's all the claymation characters running through like the stands, just like
Okay.
the normal one.
Right.
So they obviously filmed that for that episode
Right.
and then knew they were going to release something around the holidays, like, a 5-minute little blurb, which was a
Right.
lot of fun too. If you haven't checked
Right.
it out, go. We tweeted it I think a handful of times, but it's a fun little claymation, about 5-minute video that Apple TV released for Ted Lasso.
They're trying to find his mustache.
Yes, the
That's
search
the
for the
whole-
mustache.
I think that maybe I will start watching this episode for Christmas. I will watch all the Office Christmas episodes.
Yeah, Benihana Christmas.
Yankee Swap, all those. And then the other one I will do is the Community clay animation Christmas one.
That was a fun one. I forgot about that one.
That one was weird. It got super meta. All right, favorite quote of the season.
Okay, I've got two, and they both share a similar theme in mentorship.
Tom, I also have two,
Oh, okay.
but that's not how favorites work.
Okay,
You must choose one.
That's a fair point. All right, if I must choose one, I've got to go with my boy.
You're
Higgins.
gonna say both of them.
I'm gonna, but I'm
you
gonna
could say,
I'm gonna
okay.
choose one
Go ahead.
as my favorite, and I've got a runner up. A good mentor hopes you move on. A great mentor knows you will.
Okay.
I really, really like that quote. It's something that once he said that, I'm like, oh, it's a good quote. But then I kind of started thinking about it more and more about some of the people like I've been able to mentor through my work and people have mentored me. I thought it was a very salient and great point, and I'm glad it was Higgins the one that was delivering it.
Right. And it's difficult because if you mentor someone and they get good at something, they're more valuable to you if you keep them in that spot
Yeah.
and then just grind all the use out of them. For them to like move on and get promoted,
Uh-huh.
it can be rough. But
Mhm.
no, he's right. It's a good quote.
So what's your favorite? I'll give my runner up after.
To the family you were born with and to the family you make along the way.
Yeah.
All my stuff came from the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Once again, it's Christmas time. Santa's true power is not his speed, but his endurance.
Well, okay, that's also a good one. Your first quote was Higgins, right? So your favorite was a Higgins quote as well? That was his,
Higgins is dishing out wisdom. Yeah.
he is. And then the second one, what was your second one again?
Second one is from Sam when he's talking to Higgins' kid.
Oh, that's right.
Santa's true power is not his speed, but his endurance when he explains it's not over one day, it's over 24 time zones.
I remember we mentioned that. I'm like, I wonder if that's going to come up later in the season. Will they do something where they're going to have endurance and not speed?
Sure,
But
it
nope.
did not. No,
Like most things in this show, it does not.
it does has not come back. What was your second one?
My second one, also dealing with mentorship, was from Dr. Sharon when she said, "Well, I can't be your mentor without occasionally being your tormentor." Which again, thought was a very salient, good, solid quote.
Okay.
Although saying it again makes me think that without being your dementor, a la Harry Potter.
Sure.
I want to go there, but it was tormentor. So.
Another good Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the Harry Potters.
So who knows? This season taught me a lot about mentorship that I didn't know beforehand.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite Ted pun? I've got this one.
You start us.
And I don't know if pun is right or if joke is
We'll
right.
Ted line quote.
Sure. That's what we're going to go with. It's our game, so we can do whatever we want.
We can call it whatever we want.
We can do whatever we want.
All right, favorite beard quote, but it's got to be from Ted. Go.
Yeah, okay. This is a exchange between Ted and Beard. He's like a wigwam and a teepee right now. What's that? He's too tense.
Boom!
Hey! I love that.
That was like right after they had like an argument or something.
Yeah, they're discussing. Dr. Sharon has come in and they're discussing Isaac and what's wrong with Isaac. Okay. And that's when he said he's like a wigwam and a teepee right now.
But I think Beer was like almost like done with Ted, but he was like they're still friends. They'll still do those little one-on-one.
And that's what I will always love about this show: the Ted and Beard back and forth.
Too dynamic. Tense. Yeah, it makes the show. I've got two. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, this is not how this works, Tom.
Okay. I'm going to go with this one. You're telling me I could shatter every bone in my body. Someone could just drop me off in front of any old hospital, dumped into a garbage can or something, and y'all patch me up and I don't have to pay you jack squat? Great.
That's when he's talking to Dr. Doctor.
Yes, Dr. Doctor at the hospital when Sharon was admitted there. But great quote, great jab at American healthcare.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
I enjoyed it.
And then the other quick one was also Ted talking to Beard. Boy, I love meeting people's moms. It's like reading an instruction manual as to why they're nuts.
Yep. All right. I appreciate both those.
Those are good ones.
Favorite growth moment? I guess not growth, but
character growth. Let's define character growth.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I would venture that we're in line with this one, but I'll go. Character growth for me was Jamie Tart. You agree? Is that what you had or no?
No, that's not what I had.
Okay.
No, mine was Nate into a Bond villain.
That was your favorite character growth?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
I loved how gray his hair got. I loved how evil he got. No, my favorite was the growth between Ted and Dr. Sharon. Just how that relationship started, where it got to, like what we saw out of Ted. I didn't love every panic attack, but most people don't love panic attacks.
Yeah, people that are in them probably don't like them.
But that's true. But talk to me about Jamie's growth.
Yeah, so Jamie, I mean, we start this season with him on Lust Conquers All.
Oh, that's right.
That's how we see him. Roy is watching him on TV at the end of the first episode, and we see like he's not necessarily hit rock bottom, but he's doing his own thing. But it's him dealing with like the struggles of losing his livelihood because that ended up getting him canned from Man U.
Right.
Or still not Man U, Man City. It really kind of shows his hubris when he kind of requested to come back to Richmond, and he met with Ted and then did his best to kind of win back the locker room, wanting to be coached by Roy, as opposed to like them just constantly butting heads. He like opened up and said like, "Hey, I need you to coach me as well." Like again, really cool. And then obviously him dealing with his relationship with his father. That was kind of touched on in season 1 and then kind of came to a head here in season 2. But I think where we started in Lust Conquers All and where we finished with him, sincerely apologizing with Roy, or getting the sincere apology from Roy after that locker room scene where he confronted his father, I thought was a pretty epic character growth.
Yeah, your answer's better than mine. I think mine's the obvious one, Nate becoming the Bond villain, but yours is much better. And I did not think about Jamie, like where we did start with him. And maybe it's because we watched these, weekly, that I've forgotten how we kind of start with Jamie and then where he gets to.
Yeah.
And I should have thought of that because the next one,
Well, before you jump to the next one, so one other thing when I was looking up kind of like, I was looking at interviews and stuff of Phil Dunster, and one thing he said, he's like, from playing Jamie in season 1, Like he's like it's fun to a point, but when you're just the villain for being the villain's sake and like don't really have a whole lot of dimension,
Sure.
he said he had a lot more fun in this season. And he said his line was like, "I was a selfish, arrogant young man in recovery," which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, no, that's good.
And being able to kind of dive into his character a little bit more, even though we maybe didn't necessarily see him on screen a lot. Like the Christmas episode, he wasn't even on there, or outside that one little bit in the locker room,
Right.
he wasn't really on there. And I do like. I think he's a great character to kind of be peppered in. We'll see if they explore him some more next season. I'm sure they will.
No, that's good. And I was going to transition into our favorite heartwarming moment,
Mm-hmm.
and I should have thought of Jamie's growth because one of my favorite, and I seem to have written 3 favorite heartwarming
All
moments.
right,
So
I've only got one.
maybe this is how this works. Was when Roy hugs Jamie.
Yep.
After Jamie punches his dad, you
Mhm.
can see like the conflict that's going on with him. And Roy steps up and just gives him that comforting hug,
Yeah.
which he needs. That was one of my moments. I'll go again since I have 3.
Well, I'll just stop right there because that was mine.
Oh, I stole yours.
You
I'm
stole my
sorry.
thunder. But no, I 100% agree. Like Roy in that moment understands the pain and the struggle that Jamie is going through, and while everybody else is just kind of sitting there in shock and don't know what to do, boom, he comes over and hugs him. Even though they weren't chums at that
Right.
point, they're still going through a lot. He understands like it was a big deal, like basically being forced to knock out your dad. So really good scene. Definitely got me very emotional watching that one.
Right. The other one was Ted talking about his dad helping him with his book report.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just emotional because where we get there is then him talking about his dad's suicide,
Mm-hmm.
but him talking about how good his dad was. And then the other one I had, which I'm with you. I'm going to narrow this down to the hugging. But the other one I had is when Roy says that being a diamond dog is cool.
Yeah.
And both Ted and Beard are like, yeah, we got him. Oh, then they've got to like play it off like
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. Yeah, they've got to play it off like they weren't super hoping that Roy would love to be a diamond dog.
Do you think Roy will like open up and be like more involved
Yes.
in the Diamond Dog next
Yes,
season?
I think that's where. Yeah, I think he will be a diamond dog.
He will officially be a Diamond
Yeah,
Dog. I guess you
because-
gotta, because right now it's just a diamond or it's a triangle dog.
Oh, because they lost Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main circumference of the diamond. I believe that's part of
Circumference
the.
of
I
it.
believe that's
I
part of
don't-
the diamond.
I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't learn my shapes. Best scene, Tom. What'd you have as your best scene?
A lot of good scenes,
A lot of great scenes.
great scenes.
The greatest.
But the best scene is by far the Bye 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 choreography dance. I just love it. It tugged at my heartstrings as like a lover of boy bands.
We went different directions. All right,
back
go on.
in the day. But it was just fun. It kind of came out of nowhere. It starts with them not showing what the guys are doing and just perspective of the coaches and like, God, they're just not in sync right now. Like, well, we got to get these guys together. And then they do the final little thing at the end. They're posing. Jamie was fantastic in it. Could have been a boy bender. Might have been a boy bender at one point.
That's
we
true.
don't know. But it was just a heck of a lot of fun and tug at my heartstrings.
Okay.
What do
All
you
right.
got? Best scene, Julian.
So I'm gonna use the term scene loosely. Mine is essentially a sequence.
Okay, best sequence, go.
Best sequence is when Roy is watching the team as a pundit and he's realizing, like, as a pundit, what he says doesn't matter. He's not on the field with the guys.
Yeah.
He stands up, takes his mic pack off. He looks and he goes, Jeff, I have to go.
I know.
And then he leaves and we get into the rom-com sequence.
Yeah.
The chase to the field. We find out it's nice to have money and watches because that's how he gets himself all the way to the stadium.
Yep.
And then when he gets to Ted and he goes, you had me at coach.
Yes.
And Beard, I don't know if you remember, Beard gasps when he's so good.
You knew.
So good.
That was great. It was a culmination of that whole episode. That was all rom-com-y, just doing all these bits from everything, and like the music that came in was fantastic.
Him walking through the tunnel and then him like walking out. Brett Goldstein does a great job acting all the way through. Did you have a runner-up for were there other scenes you considered? Because I had one I considered, which was the scene where Roy tells Ted that he messed Jamie up. And the 3 of them, and he's like, you made him average. You forced him to pass.
Oh, yeah.
You need him to be a prick. You need him to, take shots. And the way Ted acts through the whole thing, he's first surprised, and then we get to like the signal part where Roy's like, "I'm going to tell you," and Ted is like, he's like acting like he's in on it. He's like, "Oh yeah, yeah," and how are we going to know? And like he's playing like both sides, like he's in.
So that was when Jamie and Roy were like confronting each other, and Ted was like the middleman or whatever, leading the conversation.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's like,
because that's where Ted says like, I don't want to
Jamie's
say
in the
this.
right.
Yeah. Jamie's being the grown up in this situation.
Right, Jamie's being the grown up, and then Roy comes back with, "Well, that's fine. You messed him up." So I enjoyed all that, and I think that leads to him scoring from midfield because that's the signal. Yeah, because he gets the penalty, he gets the signal to act like a prick. He gets the penalty, and then he kicks the ball from midfield.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I got to be honest, that's a great like sports movie moment when he kicks that ball.
It's that 45-yard shot, which, yeah, again, go if you haven't seen it already, go on YouTube. You can find Phil Dunster actually, as the actor, making that shot from 45 yards out. Very, very impressive.
It reminds me of myself.
Oh, does it?
In Rocket League.
Okay. Should we give out our Rocket League or our handle so people can play Rocket League with us?
No,
we just discovered Rocket League during the holidays. It's been fantastic.
Oh, man, that game's great. I've been scoring so many goals and losing a lot of games. If you can make one major change, Tom, have you come up with one, or would you like me to talk through this while you give it some consideration?
No, mine's short and sweet.
Okay.
Ask me the question again.
Tom, if you could make one major change to season 2 of the TV show Ted Lasso, what would you do?
Nate, all of it.
All of it, huh?
All of it.
So would you just keep him in his like role, but have him like grow as a coach? Would you just have no turn? Would you, Tom, kill him off?
I mean, we do agree that a spin-off Higgins detective thing would be pretty awesome.
It would be. The first murder he's got to solve is Nate.
Okay. I have no problem, and I like where Nate ended. Like, I like the idea of that, him learning as a coach, getting his opportunity from Ted, and then taking an opportunity to coach his own team, and then now being a foil, and them having some, like, dynamic back and forth. I think that's fine, but I think we can agree the way we got there with Nate just being a jerk the whole season, seemingly for no other reason outside of he thinks he's better than everybody because he got into the social media and like started believing all of the hype that everybody was saying. I thought the social media aspect was interesting that they dove into it, but they didn't dive into it the way I think was realistic because social media is not about everybody just loving you and then you can't really go on there and just take all this fun-loving stuff without understanding there's a lot of hatred on the internet that he would have likely seen at the same time.
Sure. So, no, I'm familiar with social media.
Okay.
I tweet hated people all the time. Allow me to show you my Word document, Julian thoughts / whatever it is.
Yeah, but I love Nate. I was Team Nate first season. I mean, I can't stay on board. I've officially jumped ship. I'm now on Team Higgins.
As our friend put it, the right side of history.
Yeah.
I would say this. I agree with you. I think you could have gotten to where Nate got to, and just take out all the. It's almost like, hey, we need a villain or we need like conflict.
I don't think you did, but do
you don't. Yeah. I've only written a couple of episodes of TV. Mainly Golden Girls episodes, but I think it would have been interesting to like have Nate grow, like see his progression. And then the conflict of someone offers him like the chance to coach his own club.
Yeah, and him trying to figure out like, should I do this? Ted gave me this opportunity. But you mentioned in the very last episode, which I think was a very good point about like what it was Rebecca and Keeley and their confrontation of like, hey, if you just open up and talk to somebody about you leaving or taking on the next opportunity, like that is the right thing to do.
Right, she does it the right way.
Yes, as opposed to Nate and Ted. Nate's like bottling this stuff up seemingly for the entire season and then just kind of explodes on Ted. I thought
I don't understand like if he would have gone to Ted and been like, hey, I've got this great opportunity. I've been approached. Ted would have been like, that's awesome. Hate 100%. To lose you.
Yeah.
Like, but I'd love to see you. It's like when Jamie left and Ted's like, I'll always be a fan of that young man. Mm-hmm. Like, he says the joy of coaching is getting to see young men become better people. But that's season 1 Ted. Season 2 Ted, who knows? Maybe season 2 Ted just yells at Nate. I don't know.
I feel like it's got to be a long game, right? Like they've got an idea of what they want to do with season 3 to make him a villain, and maybe the season 3 arc is going to be cool. So everything they did, because if Nate left on like good terms and like Ted was happy about it, it might be difficult for the story they're trying to tell in season 3. Maybe they need them to be mad at each other, even though to your point, I don't think Ted is going to be that mad at him. He'll be happy that he took the opportunity.
Well, yes.
But, I guess Nate ripped the Believe poster before he left, so that's a pretty big...
Not even tape's going to solve that.
I don't know. I mean, again, it was very cleanly ripped right in the center.
So you think Scotch tape will just fix that?
Hey, we're not getting paid by Scotch. Adhesive tape is not going to fix that stuff. Edit that out. We're like Band-Aids over here. Adhesive strips.
All right.
But okay, so what's your big change?
My major change is pretty simple.
Okay.
Miss Bowen and Roy should have been married in episode 1. They should have been married in episode 1. They should be on their way to having a child by the end of the season.
Wow.
The child would be angry but have a beautiful Irish accent.
Now, would the kid have they're living in England and London, so or Richmond, wherever.
I like to believe that Mrs. Bowen's accent transcends land and all those things. Yes, I just want them together.
I do love accents on little kids. Adorable. It's like what they say, like, "Oh, I peed my pants," but if they say, "Oh, I went wee wee me britches," it's just so much cuter.
It just sounds like a mess to me either way, but that's fine. I'm not a very good parent.
What's up, y'all? It's Joe Budden. It's my favorite part of the holidays, Prize Picks. The best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. Join now because this holiday season, Prize Picks is giving millions in player rewards.
Download the Prize Picks app today and use code TACKLE and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code TACKLE on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Best running gag, Tom. I'm going to name several.
Okay.
A rapid fire.
Well, if you got several, I've got one. So I don't want you to steal mine again.
You can break in the middle. Okay, go ahead.
Higgins makeshift offices.
Okay, yeah.
Like, that was just fantastic. The whole season, Dr. Sherry comes in. So he graciously moves out of the office so Dr. Sherry can take it, and he's constantly moving his plant. Early in the first couple running gags, he was knocking over his cup of pens, which was great. So we found him in an end table in Rebecca's office. He was in the gym at one point. He was in the supply closet, which I think he ended up kind of making his home for the long haul, was the supply closet.
Yep.
Because he seemed to make that home. Like, the plants and the way everything is designed.
That's where Jamie found him.
That was great. My running gag of the season.
Okay. My running gag was people spitting on mirrors. I love when people spit on mirrors. Every time it happened, I laughed. Roy popping his knee back into place.
That's great.
That one was great. The tickets being left under country music stars for Roy. Some of these only happen twice. Like, they're mentioned once in one episode, and then they happen again.
I'm going to do an impromptu trivia question. When Roy eventually accepts his tickets in that rom-com episode, who does he say the tickets are for?
Okay, my gut is Reba McEntire, but I think it's one of the sisters, and I cannot remember the sisters' names right now. So I'm going to go with Reba McEntire.
It was Reba McEntire.
Yeah! I'm glad I didn't talk myself out of it.
I did not go with your gut.
Thank you. The last one was other running gag I had was kind of aligned with yours, but Higgins talking through the window, like he's always outside of the office, and then they like try to pull him through at one point. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
I think we also need to mention the running gag of Higgins gagging. That's always just fun. I think we mentioned that in season 1. Yeah. It's literally a running gag.
That's good. I like that. I like that a lot. Make that into a t-shirt. Who would you like to spend more time with? Mine's simple.
Go.
Trent Crimm.
Yep.
I wish we would have more Trent Crimm.
I'm with you. I feel like where they ended this season with him like losing his keys and all that stuff, I feel like we're going to get more Trent Crimm next season.
I hope. That's all I want. I just want more Trent Crimm,
mm-hmm.
and I want more of Ted and Beard. Like, being that dynamic is what, like, one of the things I loved about the show from season 1. I just felt like there was a lot going on, and we didn't get as much of that. I'm in the fun back and forth, the inside jokes. That's what you want to be like in the know of
Yeah.
Ted and Beard.
Yeah.
So
And we didn't get as much of that this season. Like we got a lot of like the whole like British isms and stuff in the first season. Of,
Right.
like him saying the boot, and like those were kind of fun.
Right.
I get that you probably can't do those jokes for too long. They might get a little stale, but yeah, just more of them walking talks. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But Trent Krim, I think again, having him next season will be hopefully around next season will be fun. I would like to see Trent Krim. Again, I know he's not a reporter. I don't know what he's going to do next, but I'd like to see him grill Nate as a coach. I'd like to see him in the press room and see how Nate handles the full force of Krim.
That's good.
The Krim Reaper, if you will.
Oh, I'll give you one more. Actually, you're not going to top that.
I was going to say.
That was good. That was good. All right. I'm going to bring up a little surprise category for you.
Uh-oh.
You are not prepared.
Cue the music.
Cue the
It's
a much slower, music. Mournful, because this one's going to bring you down a little bit.
Okay, my bad.
Tom, we're going to go through what your favorite cold open for each episode was. So I am going to go through the cold opens of these episodes.
Okay.
And then you're going to tell me which one is
You're doing
your
all 12?
favorite. All 12.
So cold open, this is, for those of you who are not familiar, and just to make sure I'm familiar, it is before credits roll. It's just whatever
it's that
happens
opening
before.
Scene that kind of gets you in. Most of the time, it like doesn't have a lot to do with the rest of the episode. Mm-hmm. It can be kind of a small thing, just a small scene that gets you all juiced up, ready to go.
All right,
here you go.
Stick the needle in me. Let's go.
Okay, the first one, Earl being killed by the soccer ball. Let me clarify. Earl the dog being killed by a soccer ball kicked by Danny Rojas.
All right, I was drinking water right there. I almost spit take.
That was one. Okay.
I'm going to put that one low.
Okay.
Right now, that's number 12.
No. Tell us at the end. Because some of these get a little dicey, all right? The lust conquers all. Jamie's lust conquers all.
Okay.
He gets kicked out.
Yep.
Episode 3. Ted meets Nora. They talk about horses going to the bathroom.
Yep.
And you see Sassy Smurf again, and there's that back and forth. The 4th episode. Secret Santa, Jamie forgetting the gift. So team's in there. We talked about it. Isaac's on the throne.
Yep.
Jamie forgets the gift. They all talk about their Christmas plans. Next one. This one, because I want you to think real hard about this one.
Okay.
Nate walking into a restaurant and not getting the window table and talking with the hostess. Okay. I knew that would be high up there for you. Opening up with Danny Rojas scoring a goal. The team's in like turnaround. They're all wearing banter jerseys. And then Hunky Luca and Rebecca's mom interact in the kitchen.
Got some Hunky Luca.
Luca. Hunky Luca bum. Oh man, that sounds like
that's up there so
ice cream flavor. All right. The Groundhog's Day music. I've got You Babe playing while Roy and Keeley have their time together. And that's not a euphemism. That is them waking up and like going to work and us discovering that Keeley hates Roy and doesn't want to spend any time with him.
Seeing their daily routine.
Next one.
Okay.
Dr. Sharon dying.
And then miraculously being perfectly fine.
And being fine.
Not perfectly fine. She had a concussion.
Right. She had a concussion.
Okay.
Beard starting his adventures by playing the end of the last episode and him getting on the train. So this is the one where he's like, I've got to work this off.
Okay.
And this has him go. That was Beard's
That one
episode.
doesn't even have necessarily. I mean, it's a cold opening continued because they do the credits while he's on
the train,
the metro, or I don't know, the
That's
tube.
Right.
The tube. Is it the tube? What's it called in
the underground?
Underground. There we go.
Sam and Rebecca in bed. Mom shows up. Your father's dead.
Sorry for laughing.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
And part of the reason I did this is I was like, how many sad openings are there in this season? And so that's why I almost like Dr. Sharon getting hit by the car.
Yeah.
Not real funny.
No.
Even though you laughed.
Yeah.
The dog getting hit by the soccer ball.
Yeah.
Not real funny.
Nope.
Laughed.
Yep.
Your father's dead. Not real funny.
Nope.
Laughed.
100%.
Because that one's the one, your father's dead, and I think it like cuts to credits.
Too much.
Song plays. Sam gets his hat trick. His first hat trick.
Oh, that's right. That was okay.
And everyone's like
super excited,
happy. He gets the ball from the refs, from the highlighters. And then the last one is the news talking about Ted's panic attack and people asking him if he's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the old guy telling him that if his dad had a panic attack in Normandy, then we'd all be speaking German. Which I've thought about that interaction a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you could use that for a lot of things. Like, kid, if my granddad didn't eat his broccoli, we'd all be speaking German. So you need to eat your broccoli. Or
Have you used this on your kids?
Yeah, but only most days and for like really minor stuff.
But you're German. Shouldn't your kids like know German?
I mean, German ancestry, Tom. We didn't get off the boat like yesterday. I've decided that you can use that for a lot of things.
Okay, nice. I will use it tonight.
No context. I'm going to use it tonight. Okay. This brings us to... Oh, you got to choose, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of good ones in there. I'm not going to go with one of the sad, depressing ones.
You're not going to go with someone almost dying or dying?
No, I would say the Christmas one is a blast. Like, the locker room, seeing all those guys just have a blast, and seeing Isaac up on his throne up there was a lot of fun.
Nice.
And I think we got to, I think you mentioned it, like when they all wrapped the gift or whatever, which was a bottle of booze that Jamie could then gift to his Secret Santa. You get to see everybody there together, working as a team or whatever to wrap that present. That was a pretty cool moment too.
Right. Okay. Well, if I had to choose, it'd the dog be getting hit by the soccer ball.
I figured. That's a season opener, man, wasn't it?
Season opener. That's how you knew this was going to be a light, fun-hearted show. They really shocked you. This leads us to the most important thing we do all year.
Yep.
Trivia.
Yep.
Season 2 Ted Lasso trivia. For those of you keeping score at home, you can play along. Please tweet us your scores.
Yes. Honor system.
No, like other dialogue. Just a number. We just want to know how many you got.
Whatever.
And we're each going to do. I've got 10. You've got 12.
I've got 12 plus some bonus questions in there.
Okay, so your score is out of 25.
Okay, you add up all of the questions.
Yeah, all the questions.
Now, how do you want to do this between me and you? Last year, I think last season, I did all of mine, and then you did all of yours. You want to go one for one? Let's go one for one.
Okay, we'll try one for one and see how it works. We'll give you guys a little bit of a pause so that you can answer in your cars on your long commutes.
Yes, you can pause.
Because that's the only reason people listen to us.
You can pause.
Long commutes.
And then you can toss out your answer.
There you go.
Just a little pause. Little pause and toss.
Little pause and toss. Once again, sounds like an ice cream flavor. Tom, I'll let you go first since you have more questions.
All right. Mine are sequential within the season. So we're going to start with Dr. Sharon.
Okay.
Just a little softball here for you.
Okay.
What is Dr. Sharon's last name?
Who?
Little softball. Just going to toss up a softball.
Her last name is Feinstein.
Ooh, close. Fieldstone.
Fieldstone.
Dr. Sharon Fieldstone.
All right.
For 1.
So I'm going to take that as I got that one right.
It started with an F, so
okay.
half a
so
point.
Close. Tom, what road is the Richmond Stadium on?
This is your softball to me, which I appreciate. I'll give our audience a second because it is clearly Nelson Road.
I hate you.
Nelson Road.
I love you, but I hate you. All right. You got 1, I got 0.
All right, we got another character naming question. I'll be honest. When I came up with this one, I'm like, never going to get it, but it's fun. Who does Rebecca take on her double date with Roy and Keeley? What is the character's name? I will accept first, but I would appreciate first and last.
Okay, his name is something super normal, so I'm going to say his name is Sean.
No. John. You were close. It rhymed. But his last name is why I think you might have gotten it because it was unique. Wings Night. John Wings Night.
Oh, yeah, because Tuesday's Wings Night.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was that joke.
All right, so I have 0.
Okay.
Once again, Tom did not make these easy on us, which is fine, because I'm going to fire at him with my season 2 question. Who must Jamie keep his promise to when he leaves Lust Conquers All?
Promise to.
They're like, oh, are you going to keep your promise to so-and-so now that you're leaving the show?
Was it one of the girls he was going to try to go in the jacuzzi with?
No, well, it wasn't jacuzzi. I don't know what the proper term is, but...
let's say Mary.
No. Amy.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't pause, audience. But it
No.
was Amy.
Yeah, people had time to think about it.
All right, your turn.
Jamie's agent suggests he participate in a new reality TV show where he takes ecstasy. For how long?
He takes ecstasy every night of the week for 4 weeks.
So close. 3 weeks.
Ah!
3 weeks.
Oh, this game is hard.
Listen, easy trivia questions are not fun. Harder trivia questions are fun.
All right. My question is almost a follow-up question to question
Okay.
2. So, my third question to you is, what was Jamie's lust conquers all strategy? What was Jamie Tartt's lust conquers all strategy? And you have to do it in a British voice.
Okay. To shag all the ladies?
No, that is not correct.
No. It is to win the hearts of all the lassies.
Very close. He became Scottish. Very close. This is his strategy. I'll give the audience a moment because this is something that should probably be put on a poster.
Okay.
His plan is to find the fittest girl there,
That's right.
make love to her in the toilet, which is a bathroom, ask her to marry him. Strategy.
That was his line? Strategy?
Strategy.
I do just remember he said, like, I wasn't the loser. I was like, or I wasn't a loser. I was the loser. He was super excited about that.
All right. So far, you have one answer right, and I have 0.
We're not doing great. But hey, I appreciate us doing some deep cut trivia.
Yeah.
What does Ted say is his favorite book when talking to Dr. Sharon? They exchange favorite books. What does Ted say is his?
Oh, no. I should know this. His favorite book.
Mm-hmm.
I
will also accept, I was going to have it be a bonus question, but I will also accept what Sharon said is her favorite book. Either or.
I'm going to go with Atlas Shrugged.
It was The Fountainhead.
Which is the Ayn Rand.
It's another Ayn Rand book. Yeah. I know how much of a Randhead you are. Sharon's? You have any idea there?
I don't.
Prince of Tides.
Prince of Tides. We looked all this up, Tom. I should know these.
I know. I pulled them off of our outlines, Julian.
Oh.
I knew you had the option to get these questions correct.
This is devastating.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to lob you a softball.
Please.
In the lawnmower scene,
Mm-hmm.
what does Roy think Ted is riding the lawnmower to remind him of or to get close to? He's like, what is Ted missing? He says
you might think
close to.
It's a Ford or a Chevy, but in fact, it's a Dodge Ram.
It's a Dodge Ram, my friend.
Dodge
2
Ram.
points to Tom.
Boom.
I still have the same amount of points that I had earlier.
Question number 5.
Okay.
Jamie is a lover of many things.
Yes, he is.
Fashion, football, footwear, but he's also a mother lover. We find out that he hits on Bummer Catch's mother in front of his dad.
Oh, no.
What is her name?
Oh, no.
Can we do that again without cracking my voice? What is her name?
Denise.
Janet.
Ah, Janet!
Because he
Just
says,
like on Bluey. Janet and Rita.
give Janet my best.
Ah, I'm so bad at this.
These are not easy questions, but yep.
Don't make me feel better.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My 5th question to you.
Mm-hmm.
There is a scene where Keely is alone, tying her shoes,
Okay.
and Roy walks in.
Mm-hmm.
What is Keely tying her shoes to?
Keely is tying her shoes to an old video of her and Jamie. No, wait. It's of Roy's press conference of his retirement.
That was a roller coaster ride. You got the question right. I thought you were going to get it wrong. I bet. Good job. Good work. Tom, for those of you keeping score, has 3. I have 0.
You got a 1 yet?
Please shout your
You'll get this one.
your scores at the stereo
You got this one, man.
or at your headphones.
What gift does Ted get from his son on Christmas?
Okay, I do know this.
Yeah.
It's one of those magnetic traveling dartboards.
Yep.
And it does not work.
Does not work. Bonus, what does Ted give Henry?
A drone.
A drone. Very good.
All right, I get 2 for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it's now 3-2, Tom. You shouldn't have given me a bonus question. You're playing right into my hands.
Got to keep you in it.
All
This
right.
is why I have 12 questions. I got to keep you in it.
That's fair. Question number 6, Tom.
Mhm.
This is a long one, so I'm going to need you to focus.
Go.
Okay?
Yep. Butterfly.
Nope. Number 6.
Score.
Question number 6 for what might be the win.
Okay.
Does Ted's speech about growing up with the neighbor's dog and it dying make sense for the show or the moment? I'll read it again.
Okay.
Does Ted's speech about growing up with the neighbor's dog that scared him and then having to take care of it and the dog dying make sense for the show or the moment?
Now, in the moment, no. In the show, also no. The answer is no.
The answer is that is correct, Tom.
Okay.
You got another point.
That
I'm
was
going to give
weird.
you my 7th question because it follows up on the 6th,
Okay.
and it only makes sense.
Okay.
Question number 7.
Okay.
If you play the right music and slowly push in on Jason Sudeikis as he works his way through a childhood story and he makes his eyes watery, does that earn an emotional reaction? If you play the right music and slowly push in on Jason Sudeikis as he tells a confusing story about raising the neighbor's dog and the dog passing away, as Jason Sudeikis works his way through the story and makes his eyes watery, does that earn you an emotional reaction?
Can you use it in a sentence? No. The answer is yes, 100%. We've seen like Bill Lawrence, like his MO is that music and like kind of queuing it up and trying to make emotional moments work with music. He can definitely do it well.
Bonus
writing
question.
doesn't do it as well.
Bonus question. That dog speech made no sense.
Yes.
I rewatched it again. I'm so confused. I don't know what they were going for. And he's like, oh, I hope in that way we like passed through Earl's life. I hope we got him to a better place. No, you hit him with a soccer ball. I don't think he's in a better place.
Well, I mean, he made the opportunity for who's a new pup that comes in? Macy Greyhound. Macy Greyhound.
It's a great name.
Yeah, gave Macy Greyhound a job opportunity.
All right. I just wanted to point out
Okay.
how
I appreciate that.
yeah.
All right. Jamie's dad has 2 friends he brings to the match against Manchester City.
Name one of them.
One of them is named Denbo Collins. What was the other name, and why is that his name?
Bugs. Bug. His name is Bug.
His name is Bug.
I should have paused. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're fine. You got excited. You got one right.
And he is named that way because he eats bugs for a living.
Nailed it.
What an incredible life people live. All right, you've got a second one.
Okay, I'll do another one. What famous football stadium does AFC Richmond play Manchester City in the FA Cup match?
Oh man, Tom, why did you do this to me?
If you're a true soccer fan and a true fan of this show, because I know you've been looking up a lot of soccer, a lot of footy, because you want to get like, in it.
It is an important stadium. It's
huge.
200 square yards bigger.
It's a big one. I love how you got all these other facts of it.
And the name of that stadium is Abbey Road.
No, it is Wembley.
Ugh, I never would have gotten that.
Wembley Stadium.
That doesn't even sound right to me.
Okay.
Wembley? Was it sure it wasn't Wembley?
Wembley.
All right. Question number 8.
Okay.
What insult does Roy say to Jamie that Jamie, it's like the breaking point for Jamie. He struggles with because he's doing the fake agree with Roy. And then finally Roy says something to him that Jamie just cannot go along with. What does he insult?
It's it's between 2. It's either the eyebrow or the hair, because it's something physical for Jamie. I think it's the hair. You have bad hair. Is it the hair?
It's the hair.
Yes. Nailed it.
Score is now 5-2.
I did too. You'll get this one. Maybe.
I think so.
When Ted confides in with the coaches about his panic attack, each character goes around and confides something to Ted. What does Higgins share that he recently screwed up?
Higgins messed up the time zones so that they did not get a brilliant Brazilian striker.
Brilliantly done. When you said brilliant, I'm like, I appreciate the alliteration of brilliant
Yep.
Brazilian. That's how I'm going to get my waxes from now on.
Ooh. We are saying some things. All right. I've got 3. Tom's got 5.
Okay.
Who owns Dubai Air, Tom?
Ooh. It's an oil company. It's not Shell, although it's based off of Shell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cerillium.
Cerillium Oil.
He got there.
I don't like losing, Tom.
You're not losing. You're just not
In
winning.
fact, I hate losing more than I like winning.
Hey, but don't worry, man. I might give you that $500.
Oof.
Tell you bet.
I can't
Let's
believe
see.
I put money on
In
this.
Beard's After Hours episode, what very exclusive club does Beard take the pub boys to?
Oh. It's like, I hate you so much.
I'm so happy with these questions because I know you know most of these. You're just not finding them.
Oh, man. All right. It is called the Honey and Vine.
Okay, you got honey. I'll give you half a point. I'll give you one more chance. It's something and honey.
Oak and honey.
Bones and honey.
Bones and honey.
Yes. Or it had that cool little, it was like a honey jar with a little bone inside it. It's a cool little logo. I'm a fan of good logos.
I was going to say Kingman, but I think that's a different British club.
Different British club. Very exclusive.
All right, I have 3.5 and you have 6.
Okay. How many more do you got? I got 2 more.
I have 1 more.
You have 1 more. Okay, so let me do mine. I'll
Go
do one
ahead.
more. According to Beard, how much does the human soul weigh?
Ooh. Oh. Oh.
Another one on the tip of your tongue.
Oh.
It's in grams.
I know it's in grams.
It's metric system. Although if you can give it to me in pounds, I will accept it.
27 grams seems like a lot, so I'm going to go with 2.7 grams.
21.3 grams. You've got a very tiny soul, bro.
I don't like this at all.
All right.
Last question, Tom.
Bring it.
You get this one right, you win it all.
Nice.
Because mathematically, you've already won.
Wait, what's the score?
6 to 3.5.
Okay, well, your last question is worth 4.
Oh, incredible. I love how this game is played.
It's how all radio games work. You always give the person the chance to come back at the very end.
Wait, does that math check out? Because if you get this one right, you're at 7. Oh, yeah. Why did I ever doubt your math? You're a numbers guy. Question number 10, Tom. Who is the villain of season 2?
I mean, depression? Nate? Panic attacks? Writing?
I'm going to tell you got most of it right. Did you have more guesses?
I mean, I'll say my real guess would be depression. Depression's the worst.
Okay. Depression is the right answer.
Okay, it's on there.
Also acceptable.
This is Family Feud style.
Also on there. Michelle.
Always something for you.
Michelle is.
Yeah, always.
Always. Fear. Depression.
Okay.
The success of season 1.
That's a good one.
Those are the villains of season 2 of Ted Lasso.
I like it.
All right, final question.
All right, well, this doesn't really have a nice bow to kind of wrap it up, but I'll be interested to see if you remember this one. In No Weddings and a Funeral, what specific breathing technique does Dr. Sharon suggest Ted use when he was having a panic attack? It is specific breathing method.
All
It's
right,
a relaxation
I'm gonna
breathing
go,
method.
I've
You
got
tried it on the pod.
I've got it. Yeah. I use it every day. Okay. It's the 38, 4, and 90. You hold your breath for 48 seconds.
You said 38.
Then you breathe out for 7, and then you hold it for 90. And by the end of 90, you'd probably be pretty calm.
You're dead.
I don't remember.
You had the middle one right. Give it a shot. Blank 7 blank.
3, 7, 5.
4, 7, 8.
Oh, all right. Tom wins trivia again.
You got 2 right, buddy.
All right. The end score.
Oh no, you got 3. You got 3.
Was.
I'm sorry. Do some math. We'll be
7 to 6.5. So close. So close.
Oh, I love me some trivia.
All right. Well, that is all we have for this one.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoyed season 2. We know most of the world did not. We had our gripes and complaints.
No, I
but
think if you actually go on, and I did this after we finished the season, because I think throughout this season, because we were watching it a little bit behind, like I purposely didn't go into like forums and all this kind of stuff, so I stayed away from it. But if you look at like the Rotten Tomatoes, which I know some people hate it, like it, but like Rotten Tomatoes, like their score for second season was actually higher than it was like for the first. It was like a 90 versus a 95 or something like that.
Okay.
So I think there still is a big set of people that very much enjoyed the second season. I think it was just a different show than when doing this pod and watching as many times as we have and have talked about it. I think it was a different show than we wanted or anticipated.
Right.
But I think it was still critically very much enjoyed. So
it's tough to catch the lightning in the bottle twice,
Yeah.
as they say.
But again, this has still been a fantastic show. I'm assuming I haven't officially asked you, but we're doing season 3, right? We're gonna come back and continue our Lasso adventure
Yeah, when is season 3 coming out?
next year,
Well,
probably
I guess it depends
sometime.
on what year this is.
Yeah, it's true. We don't even know.
We don't know. But yeah, we'll be back for that. In the meantime, Tom and I, because we've enjoyed this so much, we'll probably be getting together to talk about other bits of media. What that is, we don't know. If,
TBD.
if you have a movie you really like and you feel like we would like it, send us a message.
Yeah, watch a movie.
We'll watch a movie. We'll talk about it. This is a terrible way to end this, but I don't really care at this point. I lost in trivia. I hate losing. I'm the beard of this podcast.
You are,
I
man.
hate losing.
This is true.
But this has been an absolute joy to chat with you once again through a whole season, Tom.
For sure, man.
I appreciate your time. I appreciate your friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever we end up talking about after this, I hope it's together.
Well, I thought we weren't talking until season 3 started.
Is that why you blocked me on
Well,
your Samsung Galaxy?
very good.
Is that what it is?
Yes,
on your
it is.
Sidekick 3?
Oh, wow. That's a callback.
Where's their Sidekick 3? We've gone down a road here.
Probably. But no, again, it's been a blast. I've very much enjoyed this season. We'll be back for next. If you want to drop us a line until then, you can find us on Twitter at Team Binge. You can also reach out via email at teambingepodcast@gmail.com. But keep an eye on there. Follow us there. I'm sure we'll have something else coming out, whether it's on the same feed or a new one. We appreciate everybody listening in and hope you have a wonderful new year. And we'll see you for season 3.
Thank you. Have a wonderful new year.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.